Welcome to this week's edition of Black Authors Matter TV, where we interview the latest movers and shakers in the African American literary community. You'll meet some old friends, discover new ones, and stay abreast of the latest book developments around the country and even the world. So sit back and relax for the next 2 hours with Black Authors Matter TV co-hosts Gwen Richardson and Dr. Rhonda Lawson.
Good evening and welcome to the July 16th episode of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson, your host for tonight, along with my co-host,
Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Good evening, everyone.
And it seems, I told Rhonda before the show, it seems like it's been a month since we had the show. We had the holiday for the 4th of July week, and then all week last week, because of Hurricane Beryl, we were out of power. So at home, we were out of power for 4 days. At our office, we were out of power for 6 days. And it was horrible because it's 90-something degrees in Houston, and without air conditioning, it was horrible. So those who sent me well wishes and cool thoughts, I thank you for that. And I'm glad to be back with power and air. And just as some housekeeping notes, the book festival, in terms of vendor space for authors, is completely sold out. There's no waiting list because we're completely maxed out on space. So if you missed it, you'll have to make plans for next year and plan early so you don't miss out. We really sold out earlier this year than we've ever sold out. So that's one thing I want to let people know about. And then the Black Authors Matter TV show is going to be going on the road with a couple of events that we are going to next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. We'll be in New Orleans for the Black Librarians National Conference. And then September 7th, we'll be at the Harlem Book Fair in Harlem, NYC. So we are excited about taking the show on the road, as they say.
We are busy.
Yeah, we are. Everybody's going to know the show. And then also, we don't talk about politics on this show ever. And we did that intentionally when we started the show, because that's talked about a whole bunch of places, but African American literature isn't. But I do just want to say one thing. There's a song that says, "Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me or whomever." So the peace that we need begins with each of us individually. So let's have that as a goal. So our first guest for tonight is a young adult fiction author. His name is Lamar Giles. And he has several books that he's written. And he has a t-shirt that has something on it about one of his books, I'm assuming. So it says that's all I can see is and some pictures. So The Tethered. Okay. All right. So if you can unmute, Lamar, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Hello. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing? Now the Tethered, or was it the Tethered or the Untethered?
The Tethered.
The Tethered.
I don't know. That's the movie.
That's from Jordan Peele's Us.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see Us. I saw the first one.
Get Out.
Yeah. I saw that. Then everybody was telling me Us was kind of weird and scary, so I didn't want to be scared. You know, my husband has vision problems, so he can't go to the movies. And so I didn't want to go to the movies and be scared, and I just haven't watched it. I wouldn't have anybody to hold on to in the scary scenes.
I understand.
So I don't, and I haven't watched it at home yet. Now his other one is called, that's the one with something in the sky.
Nope. That's the UFO
Yeah,
movie.
I haven't watched that one either, but I've heard mixed reviews. Get Out was good.
I love his stuff.
Okay.
And I understand if you don't want to see the scary movies, I will watch them for you.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't like it when there's something jumps out. You know, it makes it startle me. It makes me jump like that. That's the part I don't like. And I don't like a lot of gore, like stuff being cut up.
Well, Jordan Peele's movies aren't that gory, and if I'm gonna try to talk you into seeing some more of them. So if I can be a positive influence in any way, I just love his stuff. He's a great filmmaker.
Yeah, well, I appreciate his craft. So, and I, give him credit. He's kind of created a lane for himself.
Yeah.
And that's good when you have a lane that you can call your own. So anyway, Lamar, tell us about your book.
So I've been writing professionally for 20 years, full time for 10 years. My latest book, the one that's coming out in
Yeah, we're
September.
coming out August 6th.
This is September 17th. Ruin
Okay,
Road.
now I saw one listed, The Getaway. Is that still coming out August 6th?
No, The Getaway came out September of 2022. So
Okay, they had it listed wrong. Unless is a paperback coming out?
paperback will be out this next month. That's correct. You're
That's
right. Forgot
okay.
about that.
Okay,
Paperback's
that's
coming
what
out
it
next
was.
month.
Okay,
Um,
so this one's called
Ruin
Ruin
Road.
Road. Okay, and it comes out in September.
That's September 17th. And
Okay.
this is my latest horror novel. So that's the T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you do horror for teens?
I do horror, I do mystery, I do fantasy. I really do all kinds of genres. I jumped around. I write comic books, contemporary. I'm trying to be around to do it all.
But your books are they're for everyone, or do you specifically write these different genres for young people?
They're targeted. Some stuff's targeted towards teens. Some of it's targeted for younger kids, depending on which books you pick up. So
Oh,
they're the primary audience, but particularly the younger books can be read by families.
awesome.
Okay. So
You,
what?
oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Rhonda. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say your books seem to be hitting the mark. I visited your Amazon page, and you have quite a few reviews there.
Oh yeah, people seem to be pleased. I've been around. I've been able to do this. Support my family through writing, which is the dream. I try not to take it for granted, and people seem pleased with the work. I often go to schools, talk to kids who've been reading the books. I'm at conferences speaking to librarians and educators. And I'm grateful for all of them. I wouldn't be here without them.
That's awesome. Now, when did you get started with writing?
Well, I got started as a kid, like probably 8 years old, just
Nice.
for fun. I was a big reader. My mom made sure we always had books in the house. I had a writing contest when I was in fourth grade. Our whole grade participated in it. I won the contest, and it was the first time I was the best at anything, and just sort of stuck
Yeah.
with it from there.
So you say you found your niche and you're sticking with it.
Well, I didn't know it would be a job. I didn't know people could make money writing. I just really liked it and did it all through my teens. And then when I was in my early 20s, I sort of figured out that if I got good enough at it, I maybe could make a little money. I didn't think it would be a job. It's like side hustle money. And so I worked on that for a long time until I eventually sold my first novel.
Wonderful.
A lot of writers are making side hustle money even after many, many years.
That's
so
true.
it's
True.
good that you're able to do it full time.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a blessing. I can't lie. I mean, things have been going well, and I just try to like not take it for granted. Get up every day and keep doing the stuff I've been doing to get here.
Amen.
So when you say you do it right full time, are you referring to your novels or do you do other types of creative?
Mostly novels. I've written some short stories. So if you can see the wall behind me, that's a lot of the stuff I've written over the last 10 years. And then I've done some teaching at writing programs, specifically Spalding University in Louisville, Kentucky. And but that's sort of rare. I mostly do that just because I like to do it, and I like to talk to people who are trying to figure out how to do this sort of work. But writing is what I do, and once I get my daughter out the door in the morning, that's what I'm working on until it's quitting time.
Now, how do you I guess I'm trying to say, you're basically writing from home. You're writing books. This is your job. How do you stay disciplined? Because it's easy to, I mean, I work from home, and I know a lot of times because I work from home, people think that I'm home and I can just talk on the phone, or I'm home so I can run and do an errand for you. They don't realize that I'm actually working. I can't have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So how do you stay disciplined? And then how do you keep your family at base, so to speak, or your friends at base, so they can respect what you're doing?
Well, it wasn't that difficult because prior to me going full time as a writer 10 years ago, I worked in the tech industry for 12 years prior to that. And 7 of those years, I was working at home. So I already had a pretty established routine
That's
with
good.
parameters, and everyone understood that while they may go to the office, when I go to my home office, I'm still at work. So it wasn't a huge transition. If anything, it became easier for me because when I was working my tech job, that meant I had to write in the morning before work. So I was getting up at 5 and writing at 7 and then doing the job. And now all I've done is not get up at 5 to write. I get up at 5 to maybe work out, make sure my wife and daughter have breakfast, and then I start my work day, which is writing now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, those days, because I'm going through that now. We happen to wake up early to get some writing done or editing done before I log in. And then after I log out, I have to get right back on the computer and do some more writing and editing. It's long days,
I
but
know it
you're
well.
doing what you love.
I know
It's
it
not
well.
as bad.
Yeah, you have to
Solidarity.
do
Keep
what's
it up, you know?
necessary until, something manifests. And depending on what it is, it may take long. A lot of times things take longer than we want them to. But people who are entrepreneurial are optimists, so they always will see the positive side. And as long as you have a goal and you have some structure, then it's all good. The independence of it is what makes it great.
Absolutely.
Mhm. So now you said something about comic books. Are you doing comic books too?
Well, I wrote a graphic novel for DC Comics that came out last fall called Static Up All Night. So it was the character Static, who had a TV show called Static Shock for several years back in the early 2000s. It's a Black superhero created by a group of Black creators in 1993 called the Milestone Initiative. And so I got to write a long graphic novel about that character a couple years back, and it came out last November.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was great.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The Static Up All Night. So, um, when you do the graphic novels and the comic books, are is this something that you do independently? Like even for your novels that you do now, are you independent? Are you indie author, or are you with the major publisher?
Now, I'm traditionally published, and I have been for the last decade. I did some indie publishing prior to selling my first young adult novel, and so I have some familiarity with that world, though I'm many years detached because I've been doing traditional stuff mostly. But yeah, I published with some of the publishers I published with: HarperCollins, Scholastic, Penguin Random House, Houghton Mifflin. So I guess you would classify it as more traditional than indie. And the graphic novel was with DC Comics.
Okay, so you're with multiple publishers.
Oh yeah, I work with many, almost all. Like I don't even know if it's Big Five anymore. There's been so much consolidation between the
Yeah,
major publishers,
right,
but I've
right.
worked with most of them at this point.
Yeah, that sounds now, is there any kind of conflict? Do they don't require you to only work with one? Like when you sign a contract, are you limited? Is it exclusive? No, or
No,
no?
so I learned a lesson from a friend and mentor many years ago, Brandon Massey, who you may know.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, I know Brandon really good.
yeah,
In
Brandon, I love
fact, he's
Brandon.
gonna be on the show soon. He's been on the show either 3 times. I think this might be his fourth time coming up. It'll be in August. So, oh no, I've known him since he got started.
Yeah, he gave me my first major publishing credit in the Dark Dreams anthology back in 2004. I was
Okay,
24 years old when that published. And
okay,
he told me something many years ago about your publishing contracts, which is it's a thing called the option clause. And essentially, you just want to make sure that clause doesn't make it so you can only publish with the one publisher. And so the way my option clauses have always been set up, I have a really good agent who's on top of that stuff. I'm not limited to a publisher. The only limitation I have is say I publish a thriller with a publisher. They may say they have the first right to refuse my next thriller, but that leaves every other genre open. So I can go with someone else and write a fantasy. I can go somewhere else
okay.
with a horror novel. And that's typically how my contracts are written. So I'm not stuck with a single publisher.
So it's kind of a non-compete, as long as you're not having your multiple publishers competing with each other over the same genre.
Right. Right.
Okay. Well, it's good to have mentors and people who either made the mistakes already so they can advise you not to, or they know somebody who made the mistakes already. Because a lot of people do kind of get locked into not being able to shop their stuff around to different publishers. And I don't know if it's more common in young adult fiction that you can move around, or is it just something that you were able to do because you know what is required in the contract?
Well, I think I stumbled into it more so than anything. I don't know that a lot of people that write for my age group do it. It's just my first two novels with the publisher where the situation wasn't that great. Like I didn't feel like my career was going the way I wanted to. And my agent suggested that I could do other work for other publishers if I wanted to see what was out there. I mean, so had the first two books been a situation that I felt was more positive, I might not have tried writing for other publishers. I would have been comfortable. But since I was uncomfortable, I was like, well, let me try this. And once I started down that path, it just opened up all sorts of opportunities where editors knew my work. And I was in the position to be able to go, hey, can I write this for you? But can I also write this for this other person? And a lot of times they were amicable to it.
Okay.
But I think that's what I'm seeing in that is that you're honest and you keep the communication lines open with your publishers. You're not being sneaky about it, so to speak. You're not being diva-ish, so to speak. You're actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that most people appreciate that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone knows that I do different things at different places. And there certainly have been relationships that have grown out of that where it's like, I only want to write thrillers with my editor, Jody, for example. And Jody knows that. So we work very well together. But Jody's okay if I get an opportunity to go write for DC Comics. Like that's a whole different thing. And it's almost like your friend is saying, hey, you got to take this other opportunity. We'll still be here.
Right.
So tell us what your book is about. Your last couple of books. What's the storyline? What's the what are the characters and all of that?
Ruin Road is about a young man named Cade Webster, who's a star football player. He's probably going to go to the NFL in a couple years, which is great. What's not so great is his father's dying of stage 4 cancer. On top of that, because he's a big black boy, everywhere he goes where people don't know him, they're afraid of him. He's a great kid, but it doesn't matter. They're scared when they see him. And one night, that leads to a misunderstanding where he's running from the cops. He ducks into this creepy pawn shop and he makes a wish. He wishes that people would stop acting so scared around him. That wish comes true, except everyone he meets from that point on stops fearing everything. And that leads to chaos. This is my first supernatural horror novel. It's something I've been building up to for many years. And when I say that, I mean it literally because when Brandon Massey bought my second story for his second anthology, Voices from the Other Side, this novel is somewhat of a sequel remix to the story he published.
Okay. Okay. Well, that what you described is common in terms of what happens to many. I won't say all, because I don't like to I like to qualify things, but what happens to many Black males that are above average size and height, and some that aren't.
Well, I
But
was gonna say, I'm short and I've dealt with it, so I can imagine what my bigger brothers deal with.
Yeah, the ones that are, the thing with the clutching the purse in the elevator and things like that. So and that's unfortunate, and that I'm sure that can be debilitating. Women don't get that as much. What we will get.
We do get it.
Well, I don't know if it's the fear thing. What I've experienced is when you go into a store and they follow you. That's as if you're going to steal something. I don't get it a lot, but probably because now I do most of my shopping online. Not because of that, but because between COVID and just being busy, it's just easier.
It is very convenient. I can admit that.
So, but this is good that you are putting that experience in a novel
Yeah, I hope
teen
people like it.
for young adults.
Yeah, it's something it's a lot in the book that I'm talking about. Like I try not to write to the issue. I try to incorporate it seamlessly and just focus on an entertaining story. But it's a lot in that book that I want to say. I mean, that's how I try to approach most of the books.
Okay. So what is your of the books that how many books do you have so far?
In
Do
the
you know the
last 10
number?
years, 14, I think.
$14.
Yeah, Ruin Road, I think will be 14.
Okay, Ruin Road is 14. And one, what's your best-selling one so far?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your favorite
Um, Best selling it. I think I'm going to give you three because I think there's three of them that do particularly good numbers.
one?
My
Okay.
first novel, Fake ID, my first middle grade novel, The Last Day of Summer, and then the book from 2 years ago, The Getaway, is doing really good numbers. Like that's the one we're trying to make a TV show out of right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and as far as my favorite, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I love them all in different ways. They're like children.
It's like,
Um,
Yeah, I
I was
know.
just about to say, it's
We're
like choosing your favorite child. You can't do
yeah,
that.
yeah, we're both authors, and so when people ask me that, it's hard for me to answer too. A lot of times my favorite is the latest one
mhm.
because it's the most familiar. But then there's each one has a different uh I was in a different place when I wrote them. I was so it just depends.
I'll shout out one of my kids that don't get enough love, I think, and that's Not So Pure and Simple. That's my contemporary novel about a young man who joins a purity pledge at his church because he likes a girl that's in it, and that's a terrible plan, and it causes all kinds of problems in this town. It's a funny book. It's my book that's funny. There's nothing scary in there. There's nothing traumatic. So,
Okay.
Not So Pure and Simple for anyone who's looking for something light.
I actually like the idea of
Yeah,
that.
I did too.
I read a similar book and it wasn't scary, but I think I like the lighter take that you're taking on it because the book that I read was not as light a subject.
Mhm.
But the take that you're taking on it sounds like it would be something that we could kind of chuckle at.
Oh yeah, like I said, that's my funny book, and that came out a month before the pandemic shut down. So that book just, the world shut down, so we didn't get a chance to get out and really talk about that one. But that's one it's the one that's the most different of everything I've written.
Okay. And that one is called the Not So
Not So Pure and Simple.
Pure and Simple. Okay. Not So Pure and Simple. Okay. Well, now when you do your stuff with DC Comics, was that the graphic novel or that's a pure comic book?
It's a graphic novel, so that book's 200 pages long.
So it's a
Two,
hardcover?
oh no, it's a paperback, but it's thick.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, graphic novel. I
Is
didn't
that
know
about
DC Comics did graphic novels. So
is
that's
that about the standard length for a graphic novel, about 200 pages?
Actually, it depends, I guess. I think a lot of them are probably shorter. They give
That's
you
why
a
I was
lot of
wondering
room.
if they're normally shorter.
Yeah, and technically it's two things in that book. It's the main story, which is about 160 pages, but then I talked them into letting me write a bonus story that's an extra 30 pages. But I pitched it and they liked it so much, they said, go for it.
That's awesome.
oh, okay.
It
That is.
sounds like you have a really good agent who's on your side and is looking out for your well-being, so to speak. And not everybody can say that. So it sounds like you two have established a relationship. How long has she been your agent?
Since 2011. So what's that, 13 years?
Okay,
That's
that's a
awesome.
long time because I
I
hear
mean,
about authors ditching their agents left and right. Sometimes they don't work out. So
I've heard the stories. I know many writers who had to switch agents multiple times. I mean, I don't know. I was just fortunate. Like my agent's name is Jamie, and we just vibed from the beginning. And she's been there to help me through stuff when like there was times when I thought my career might be over, and she came through with a suggestion that helped me keep things going. So I mean, I always said as long as she wants to be an agent, she's my agent.
There you go.
now one of our viewers wants to know what writers have influenced you. And you
Oh,
mentioned Brandon in terms of
yeah,
him being a
Brandon
man.
definitely. Tanana Reed do
Okay, I read her
Stephen
stuff. I just
Barnes,
finished reading her latest book, The Reformatory.
amazing.
Mhm.
It's my favorite thing I read in 2023. Oh, absolutely
Oh, okay.
fantastic novel.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
still in the
it's a real good
process of
book.
reading it, so don't say anymore. Let's move on.
Okay.
Um, Stephen Barnes
Okay, I'm reading stuff to her husband.
and Steve. I got to give Stephen King his props because when I was growing up in the town I was in, when I wanted to buy books, I could only get them from the grocery store. And anytime you went in the grocery store, you could get a Stephen King book. And so I would buy his books because I like scary stuff. And
Okay.
that influenced me tremendously up until my teens when I was able to find like other people who did the sort of things like Miss Do.
Okay. Now
I
from
say
Stephen,
she knows how to describe a scene because
Oh, yeah,
she
yeah,
she can. She
yeah.
has a real gift. And I've read several of her books, and a couple of them are in my top 20 of all time.
I agree. Same here. I still have my original copy of My Soul to Keep on my bookshelf back there.
That's it. That's it. And The Living Blood, the
The Living
sequel.
Blood.
Those
Oh, that
two.
whole series. That whole series is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I hope one day it makes it to a screen, small or big.
Yes, it would be great. Because I don't think, well, the between, no, I'm thinking of the book. I'm thinking of Kindred.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of Kindred by Octavia Butler. They
Yeah,
made that
yeah.
into the
That Hulu series.
Hulu series. And I
Yeah.
did watch that. I don't know if they're gonna continue it. They just had one season.
Yeah, I heard they canceled it. I don't know if that's accurate.
Okay, I
Yeah.
hadn't heard. But I thought they did a pretty good job with the depiction.
It's one, and to me, it's one of those things, like particularly trying to go through that process myself, where I recognize that the book has to shift and change to go to another medium, whether that's TV or film. And it's just like, in that situation, I like the book much better, but I can understand some of the choices they made.
Hmm. Well, it's rare that the book's not better. I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree. I
I
agree.
can't, I don't know, I can't think of any movie that was better than the book, unless, and I generally prefer to read the book first,
Mhm.
because if I see the movie, it'll ruin the book because I
Yeah,
know too much about the plot. And so, but there's lot more Black content that we've been seeing, especially with the streaming services. So it's a lot of writers getting their due, and in all different genres.
yeah, yeah. I have a long list of things I need to watch. I have a 3-year-old. So the things I tend to watch are Mickey Mouse and Bluey. And so it's hard for me to get anything else in before she goes to sleep. Or I got to watch after she goes to sleep, I mean. So I have
Okay.
a long list of things to catch up on.
Okay. So what's something that you like to watch? Because we only have a couple minutes left, but I'm just interested in like a series that you like.
All right, so my guilty pleasure right now, because I missed a lot of it because my daughter's been so young, I've been watching Power Book 2, Ghost.
I had a feeling you were going to say something like that.
That's my guilty pleasure right now. Like I'm really like because there's a lot of episodes. Like I didn't see it when it originally aired, so I'm able
Hmm.
to just when I got couch time at night, I'm able to throw something on. So that's been the thing I've been watching a lot of lately.
Okay. Yeah, I watched Power, but
Mhm.
I didn't watch the sequel, the other spinoffs.
I think I've admitted this on the show before, but I've never seen one episode of Power.
It's
Understood.
actually good, but it,
It's not that I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to. I keep telling myself I'm going to binge watch it so I can watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I just have not taken the time to start binge watching it. I've heard it's great, and I believe it's probably great. I just haven't had the time to watch it.
And the thing I'm guilty of is I rewatch things a lot. Like so, there'll be a ton of new stuff, but then I get time, and inevitably I'm going to rewatch The Wire. The Wire is my
Yeah,
favorite show ever.
the Wire was great. I've seen it. I haven't seen it lately,
Yeah.
but I have that one. Is a really good show. And if you like scary stuff, now what do you think of The Walking Dead?
I was cool with The Walking Dead for about 5 seasons, and then it
Okay,
just it got a little bit repetitive to me. So I don't
okay,
know anything that happened after around season 5. Um,
okay. Now I tell people just watch 1 through 6 and quit,
okay. So maybe
because
I'll do the sixth season
yeah,
and then
6 was
stop.
good. Six
Yeah.
was good, but after
Well,
that, that
unfortunately, we're at
yeah,
time. But
we are.
if you can just remind us, please, the new book that you have coming out, when There we go.
Ruin Road, September 17th. Pre-order is appreciated. Anybody out there, but I thank you for this opportunity to talk books.
Okay, well,
Thank you
you're
for being on
welcome.
the show.
Yeah, we're glad to get you on the show, and we'll have you back at some point when your future books get released.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.
So we're gonna bring on our next guest, and then she left. She was there, then she left. So for those who have commented and said that they hope I weathered the storm and all the aftermath of it, I did. But the power situation was what was it was a bad storm in terms of it was only a category 1, but the wind, it was sustained over a broad area of Houston, and a lot of trees fell, and a lot of trees fell on power lines. And so that's the power outage is what we're still actually dealing with a week later. And some people still don't have power back. And I really pray for them because it's horrible not having power, not having AC when it's 90 something degrees. Oh, it's horrible. So anyway, I don't know where they
imagine what you went through, and
it was horrible.
I feel for you.
You know, it's bad. It's bad in the daytime, but it's really bad at night because you really can't sleep. Really can't get a good night's sleep because it's it's just, I was telling my friends, our ancestors operated with no AC, and we're wimps. I guess we're just
Just spoiled.
used to creature comfort, but it was quite an experience. It makes you appreciate what you have and pray that it doesn't happen again. so anyway, I don't know where she went. She logged in twice, and then as soon as we were getting ready to log on, she
I hope
left.
she'll come back. Well, in the meantime, for ladies and gentlemen, I did put the link to Ruin Road in the chat. So if anybody would like to pre-order the hard copy or the paperback, and it's also an audiobook. We didn't mention that. So you can pre-order whichever format you like. The link is in the chat for anybody who is excited about getting that. And I'm an audiobook girl, so I'll probably do the audiobook.
Yeah, I'm a book reader, but I'm going to see if I can make contact with this young lady. Meanwhile, tell them about the catalog you're doing that you're going to have at the Librarians Conference, the Harlem Book Fair, and I'm assuming you're going to bring it to the National Black Book Festival too.
I'm taking it everywhere.
Okay, well, tell them about that while I go off camera to see if I can get her back.
Okay. So first of all, things have been going really well. Gwen mentioned that the National Black Book Festival slots are sold out. All of the slots for my Black History Month Literary Weekend 2025 have been filled. And I am actually going on tour. So Gwen and I are going on tour to Harlem Book Fair. We're going to New Orleans in a couple of weeks. And of course, I'll be at the National Black Book Festival. And because I'm making all of these appearances, I wanted to take as many authors with me as I could. So what I did was I created a book catalog, and I will be releasing the book catalog later this week. So what it is you open the book, there are about 25 different authors in the catalog. And the way this catalog works is you can flip through, and when you get to a book, you can read a sample chapter of the book. And if you like what you've read, at the end of the sample chapter is a QR code. So you can scan the QR code or click the link, and it'll take you right to the sales page so you can purchase that author's book. I wanted to be able to do this to promote as many authors as possible when I go to all of these different places throughout the rest of this year. And I wanted to be able to support these authors. So this was my way of doing it. People snapped up the slots for the catalog so quickly that I actually had to cut it off and couldn't take any more people, or else the catalog would have been way too long. So I'm really happy about that, really proud about it. And like I said, I'll be distributing this catalog at all of my appearances between now and the end of the year. And the catalog is absolutely free. So I will be giving it out to everybody. I will not be selling this catalog. So this is just another way that we'll be able to support the many, many authors who support both me and Gwen, and who have supported the Black History Month Literary Weekend, and who are actually trying to get their books out there, because I've said it, and I've said it many times on this show, that an author does not make a bestseller list without your support. So this is one of the ways that we want to support these authors so they can continue in their craft and become best-selling authors, multi-genre authors, and so forth. And this is just a small way that I'm helping to do that.
Okay, well, and it's a beautiful catalog. I saw it. She sent me the digital form. So I am going to be bringing on our next guest. Her name is Kathy Greggs, and she's a memoir author. And the name of her book is The Mother, the Soldier, the Activist. So as soon as we get her on camera, we will welcome her to the show. And I know that still picture's not her.
Very pretty.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I was wondering where you went, because we were getting ready to bring you on and then you left. So, but I'm glad you're back. And
my connection is really bad over here right now, but yeah.
Oh, where are you located?
I'm located in Fayetteville, so they got a little rain in between, little thunder.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. That
can
make
it work. That's all right.
We'll make it work. So, your title is The Mother, the Soldier, the Activist. Those are basically things you want readers to know about you before they even open your book. So, what made you write your memoir? What inspired you to write it now?
Well, yeah, so I was in the United States Army, and I am a sexual assault survivor. So, yep, Army, go Army.
I'm an Army retiree myself, so thank you.
There we go. Yep, and I'm also an Army brat. So I grew up in Germany. So
I probably crossed paths, because so did Rhonda.
I understood what sexism and racism and colorism look like at a very young age, just growing up in Germany and then coming back to the United States on a culture shock. But the reason why I named it The Mother, the Soldier, the Activist is because after I got out the Army, I chose to continue to fight for rights of sexual assault victims, as well as domestic violence victims and human trafficking. So when I got out, I said, okay, I'm gonna keep going to, do the work, try to make sure that everybody has the same rights, no matter who they are or what affiliation they are. And I started a nonprofit with another actual retired Army veteran here in Fayetteville. It's called Fayetteville Police Accountability Community Task Force. And we started here in Fayetteville because of Black and brown people, 40% always get stopped in a traffic stop. And it results in a citation or arrest. So we looked at that. We looked at Tamir Rice. We looked at the issues that was going on with, Tamar Martin, all of the people around, and we started Fayetteville PAC here to make changes here. And as we continue, that's when we started to see a lot of racial inequalities, because even though we have a base here, there's a lot of inequalities anyway. We got to see where there was a 30% more bail or bonds for more Black and brown people that they had to pay more than the other white people. So we started to look around and see how we can actually come and connect with the people here in Fayetteville, as being in the military, knowing what domestic, foreign and domestic looks like in the fight, to understand how we can assist in the process to make equality better. And I started on my nonprofit back in 2015. I am a DOD federal employee at Fort Liberty, so I still work for the federal government, but my nonprofit has expanded itself all the way from, not just North Carolina, but national and international. But this book is based on how does activists continue on with AI uprising? So how do we as activists go to that mother, go to that father, and fight for their rights in an actual scene of saying, hey, this was police brutality. Hey, this was racial profiling. How do we argue that when everything is going to be visual and on video? That's the question. Are we even going to be needed at this point as activists?
So it sounds, and I hear where you're going, because like right now, everything is on social media. And sometimes you start to wonder if, okay, I know people are trying to do their part by putting it out there, but does it water it down and make it almost white noise in the background because people aren't going to be paying as much attention, because you're wondering whether this person is holding up their phone because they want to get the word out, or because they just want to be internet famous and try to put some content out there and go viral.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, that's the thing, because like you have facial recognition. So when you're driving your vehicle, they can see you, they can just look at your face, and they can go to your house and actually follow you because of your association with somebody else, a warrant, whatever. And then they can also go to your house because you have a warrant. You may not even know you have a warrant. So then you have the issue of actual license plate, so they can scan your license plate now. So they'll know if you did any crimes that way. So what you're saying is correct. We have to stop AI from rising to where there is no more human contact. Human beings may rely more on AI than they rely on human beings, each other. Is it not? That's just compassion alone, right? Do we have compassion for each other after AI rises, or are we going to rely on AI to tell us what to do in our lives as humanity? Will humanity even exist at this point? So those are questions that we should ask, because at the end of the day, we know that the only reason why George Floyd uprise that big is because of social media, because of the video. If we would have never had the video, this wouldn't be a conversation. Ahmaud Arbery was only because it was a hate crime and it had to be proven, and it was a video. So once again, we go back to the video part. So what part would I play going into a room with people that don't look like me, that don't talk like me, that's not me? And what can I argue if we already seen the video, if there's already footage, if there's already the AI police officers, which they already started that plot. They already started that pilot program in New York to see how AI police officers are. We're 20 years behind the digital age from other places. We're 20 years behind AI uprising already. So we have to catch up.
Well, sadly, this, if you go way back, I'm talking about the 90s. When, and I don't know why his name is just slipped out of my head, but you know who I'm talking about.
Rodney King?
Thank you, Rodney King. There was video of him being beaten by what, 5 police officers?
Or more.
7.
Or more.
Yeah.
It was 7. Some of them came and hit him and left, but the 7 is
right. But there was video of him being beaten by these police officers. But the reason why that they were found not guilty is because they had a really good lawyer who was able to say, you only saw a piece of the video. Yep. You didn't see the whole thing. You didn't see what actually happened. And they were able to argue about what happened on the part that the world didn't see.
Yes.
And that is happening in this day and age right now. You saw 30 seconds of a video, but you didn't see what he or she did before. I was afraid for my life. So how do we battle something like that? And then with in respect to what you're talking about with AI, now AI can be used to where it's cloning people's voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people think that it's you, and they'll think it's your face, and it's not actually you.
So there is something I put in my book. There was 3 cases that actually where people were wrongfully arrested and wrongfully imprisoned because AI was used and it wasn't them.
Right.
And they were a color.
And that's the scary part. That's the part that we have to stay in the fight for. Because now, before there was even AI, they were able to say you didn't see what you actually saw. Now with AI, they have an even bigger case to say you didn't see what you actually saw.
Yep.
Or somebody can create something that's not even real. And if you don't have an alibi that you can really use as evidence that you didn't do it, like you have somewhere you were where 5 people saw you at the time of the crime, then, and a lot of people are at home by themselves now more than they used to be. And so AI, we really don't know yet the extent, and it continues to evolve. One thing I hate about it is AI customer service. I hate it, Hate it. Hate
Just
it.
give me an operator.
Yeah, I said operator. I don't want to talk to you, machine.
You know, they fixed it
I
now
hate
to
it.
where it'll say, you'll be like, operator. Well, before I send you to an operator,
Right.
Yep.
Right. No,
Well,
operator.
you have AI. You even have AI attorneys right now. There's AI
Yeah.
attorneys out there.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not even talking to a real attorney at this point. You can actually hire an AI attorney to do your paperwork. You don't have to hire an attorney now. You could hire an AI attorney. And this is the thing. I was a board member of ACLU. I was a board member of Fayetteville Pride. I also did work in other areas. I mean, I went all the way to the military committee to do the Luttenberg Amendment authorization, you know, to make sure that the commanders are held accountable for domestic violence. So I have been out there. I have been in the streets. I have been, you know, wearing jeans, marching, Ahmaud Arbery, all of that. I have been everywhere to do this. And then I noticed why I'm doing this. And when I'm done and sitting down, I'm like, okay, the Black and brown people will be more affected. If that's your question, Ms. Richardson, the Black and brown people will be more affected. And right now it's already happening. And we need to stand up and get ready to fight on this battlefield, because if not, we're going to be annihilated by 2030 because of the rise of AI. Right now, the jobs is already being taken over. It's going to be 750,000 jobs taken over by 2025. That's what they already dictated just with AI alone. That right there is going to do a separation of families in Black and brown communities. That's also going to put people back in jail and put them back in the criminal justice system to where they're not able to come back out. So that's the part that we should be focused on. How do we fight that fight past that? How do we get the Black and brown community to understand that you must build your own foundation, your own wealth in order for you to survive this fight? Because I'm telling you, it's going to start with us. We're going to be the ones that's going to be down, trying to climb up.
Amen.
But my book, The Mother, because I'm a mother first, you know, I have children too that look like me, that's of me, you know, and my fight is their fight, but my fight is for them. So when I sit back and say I'm done, who's going to take the torch? Because at the end of the day, my grandkids still need to live past 2030, 2050. I also watched several movies. So I did research before I did my book to watch how this is going to evolve itself. And, you know, and I also talked to people in different countries and different cities to see how it already started with the AI K9 dogs, how they already started with AI walking. So, you know, they had AI all in the subway in New York, but look what happened, even though they were in there. So, you know, situations like that. So this is really going to happen whether we want it or not. But the thing is, what do we do to stop it? That's the question.
You've done a lot of interviewing, a lot of talking, and a lot of advocating. How long did it take you to do enough work for you to be able to get the book to where it is?
So I wrote this book in 4 months. I self-published, self-wrote it. It took me a while to lay out how I wanted to start it, but I wanted everybody to know in my first chapter, you know, activism versus activists, like the definition, to define that first, right? Then I wanted them to know my struggle within. You know, I have a covenant with God myself to continue this fight and continue to help whoever I can, regardless, because at the end of the day, you know, and I know, never leave a fallen comrade, soldier for life, right? So for my mindset and growing up in the military family, my mother, my sister, and my father, I know this is what I have to do, because if I don't do it, who else can we rely on, right? But at the end of the day, every chapter goes into the fact of how it looks when you're in the room and you're not that person that people want to talk to. I mean, I sat there with a man with a Confederate flag, a Republican, in the Senate. Republican flag, you know, Confederate flag by there. I didn't get intimidated. I said what I said. I told him what we need. You know, he even told me get out of his office. He told me if it doesn't apply to me or my kids, I don't want to hear it. So I have been through those struggles. My book shows everyone as an activist of what struggles you go through already, just trying to go in those rooms to help people, right? But now we got to get past that on, okay, we help people, we don't help people, but now we got to say, look, this is our fight and we got to be in it to the end, or we just need to step back and let somebody else do it.
You know, the Terminator, the original Terminator movie, the year where the original Terminator movie came out in the 80s.
Mhm.
Okay, and the year that they said the machines were going to take over was 2029.
Yep.
In the Terminator, that was the year they named. And now I don't know who came up with that number that year, but they named it. And I've seen that movie so many times, I can tell you almost every the whole script. That and Terminator 2. I like them
Yep.
both. I didn't like the rest of them because they ran out of ideas. But you know, a lot of times when it's a part 3, when it gets past 2, sometimes even a part 2 is not good. But most of the time when it gets past 2, they're just trying to make money on the franchise, and they really run out of ideas. And but I don't think we can't stop it. We have to figure out how to still function, because they're talking about building all these. They were talking about the really how the the grid is going to be dominated by the new AI, all these
Yep.
computers use it for AI,
Yep.
and it and which jobs it will be replacing. At first, there's some of the jobs, especially customer service, which I hate, but they sent them overseas first, and then when you call somebody, you can't understand them, and they can't understand you. And now, now it's going to AI, where it's just a machine saying, I state the issue that you would like, and they give you a list, 1 for this and 2 for that, 3, 4, and none of them are applicable. And then you keep asking for the operator. You generally finally get a human, but it's not easy. And
Nope.
they want it to not be easy. They want to make it because they're trying to make money on not having humans.
Yes.
Bring
And
money.
also, Elon Musk planned on building a robot in everybody's house and wanted in their household by 2025. So he's building a robot to come to your home, wash your clothes, cook, clean, and do all that.
Well, it won't be
Almost
by
like the
next
movie,
year.
almost like the movie I, Robot with Will Smith. So that's
Yeah, it's
exactly.
not
I
gonna
got
be
a
by
lot
next
of
year.
intake.
That's too quick.
Mhm.
Because how much does the robots cost?
Well, that's the thing. He's going to lower the cost so everybody can have one.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen that fast. And I wouldn't want one in my house at any price, even if it was free. I don't.
But you know what? We're using a robot right now by on Zoom. So, and
Okay.
then you may have Alexa, you may have the doorbell
I
cam.
don't do
That's all.
Alexa or Siri. I don't do none of those women because I don't want them to come on and be recording my conversations and then they go into a big, you know, uh, voice recognition thing, and then I don't have either one of them. I don't
But
want to.
how many people that is of us that do though? So that's
Well,
the question.
I know a lot of
Yeah,
people
that's
that
not
use
plugged
it.
in, so
It's
you ain't got to
convenient.
worry about me.
It's
Bluetooth,
convenient for
Bluetooth
some
too.
people,
That goes
but
in the air. Bluetooth, all of that. All of that is
but
all voice.
I try to limit it just because and the algorithms are really
Yep.
very um relentless. You hit one video and then you just keep
Yep.
getting tons of the same thing, and a lot of kids are on these devices just being bombarded with all kinds of junk, and garbage in, garbage out. That's why some of them having so many emotional problems and psychological problems, and the parents really need to be more on top of it than they are. I think
A person
Yeah.
who I like to look at the positive side too. And yeah, there are a lot of people who are using AI and so forth in a negative way, but there have been very many positive use cases for AI as well.
Mhm.
It's just that, when technology gets in the wrong hands, that's when the bad things can happen. But there are people who are using technology for good. I mean, if it weren't for technology, a lot of us would have gone crazy in 2020 having to stay
Yeah.
home.
that's true.
Yeah, I
Zoom
mean,
Zoom was a
we
great
weren't able to
tool.
do our festivals in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
And AI actually just created where you can use sign language too, where it's easy for
Mhm.
everybody to use it. Mhm.
Yeah, so we can't stop technology. It's going to move. It's like technology is like aging. It's going to happen whether
We
we
want to
want
or
it
not.
to or not. So
Yeah.
we just have to make
No,
adjustments.
I ain't aging. I try to take care.
Well, the number goes up. The number goes up. It doesn't mean that you have to look like the number and that people can
That is true.
guess what your number is. So, but you can't stop the number from going up. It's going to happen regardless. And so we have to stay on top of it. I think we need to find ways to do more personal human interaction in
Yes.
spite of it, because that's important. And that really keeps people sane, the human interaction. Once people withdraw, they normally go nuts. Once they're isolated, they start having, because you need that human touch. You need the human interaction. And so we have a couple more minutes left. I wanted just for you to talk about where people can get your book
Okay.
and just in general, what you want people to gain from reading your memoir.
So my memoir is, resilience, is fruitile, like it says, but justice will prevail. So meaning as it, no matter how bad it gets, just continue to fight it through and make sure that you lean towards each other as a community policing each other and help each other so we can all, win in the end. Humanity has to go on. And also in my memoir, I also discuss the struggles that I go through, listening to that mother or that father cry, and I'm having to tell them, look, I know your son died from the police or died from, injustice, but you may not get justice. So I have to have that hard talk with those family members. And I struggle with that myself, looking at my son when he leaves the home. But mainly the memoir does discuss my own strength and how I had to reach from, all the way down to find my own strength to continue on, because I knew that if I wasn't there to help that family, who else was going to be there? I had to be the one not to cry in front of them. I had to be the one not to choke in front of them. So that plays a huge part when it comes to resistance and making sure you continue to carry on to fight for justice and get justice. My book is sold in Walmart, Target, Amazon, and it's sold in other places. I'm about to try to get it here on Fort Bragg and all AFEs across the U.S. as well as overseas. But it's not about the sale for me. It's about what I can do to help someone as when they read this book, how I survived my military sexual assault, how I had to fight for my own justice by myself, and how I came upon it and was still able to come out of it and still help other people fight for their justice.
Nice.
Okay. So show us the cover again, and so people will know what they're looking for when they go to find your book to purchase it. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV.
I like your cover, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's just a soldier right there, and then you got the mother and the child.
Okay,
And
I
then
was going to ask for those pictures that you took when you were deployed or anything, but
well, I have my picture in the back, but I do have pictures of me deploying. So this is my first book. I'll be coming out with my second one here soon.
Okay, well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
and thank you for all you're doing too.
And thank you for what you're doing for getting our word out and our story out. Because at the end of the day, everyone has a story.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, we found that to be the case. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV. And we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully, when you come out with your next book.
Okay. Amen and God bless.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so I wanted to see if we had any more comments, but Zoom is a blessing for me. That's it. Well, it is a blessing. Zoom is a blessing. And you know what I found when we had power out for days on end during this hurricane last week, people are very helpful when there's a crisis like that. That's when the human side comes out. Neighbors helping neighbors, people you don't even know, you talk to them or help them, everybody. Our
I
church,
say that they feel like their closest friends are actually people they've met on social media that they've never met in person. Because the people closest to them they see every day, they don't feel close to them anymore. They feel closer to the people they meet on social media.
yeah, well, I have met some great people on social media over the years, and many of them have been on the show, and I've never met them in person, but a lot of them have come on the show, and so that's a good thing. But there were a lot of people helping people during that time, and our church opened a cooling station, so you could go there and charge your devices, and they would feed people. And so we went there one day, and then when we went, we stayed there all day, and then when we came home, our power was on. So it was a miracle. We were so happy about that. Oh, it's rough. So anyway, we're gonna bring on our next guest, and his name is E.K. Powers. He has a book called Hidden Revenge. This is his latest book. I don't know if it's his only book, but it's his latest book. And he has some upcoming events he's going to. I think it's a mystery thriller, crime fiction in that genre. And he's going to tell us about it and some of his other work that he does. So, what do you go by, EK?
Yeah. Yes, it's EK. I go by EK.
Okay.
But my name is Eric Knight. Those are my two initials, Eric Knight.
Okay.
So I added the powers to make it sound more interesting. So, but yeah, EK is cool.
Oh, okay. So that's
that was very honest.
that's your pen name. EK Powers is your pen name.
That's my pen name. Yeah.
Okay.
Pen name.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
to make it more interesting. So
people come up with pen names for all kinds of reasons. And some of the ones it's interesting to hear the methodology behind how they created the pen name.
right.
Because each one has a different reason for why they picked. So,
Well, I picked powers because all of my gifts, my ideas, my talent comes from God. So that's power added on to my real name. So that's why I picked powers.
okay. All right. Well, amen.
Yeah.
Okay. so, your latest book is called Hidden Revenge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Hidden Revenge. But you've been writing for quite some time. So tell us about your writing journey, how you started off, and what motivated you to kick off your writing career.
Yeah. So let me first say my latest book really is The Foliage. That's really my latest book. Hidden Revenge is my first book I ever written.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hidden Revenge, I wrote that book back in 2008.
Okay.
And this is really the second edition of that. I've updated the cover. I did a lot of edits within the content of the book. So it still keeps the same plot, but I added a little bit more dialogue, and it still keeps the same plot twist. When I first wrote the book, I wanted to come up with something different than other people I was seeing that write books in that genre. So I came up with something totally different, and it's been working out well. This book is about a NBA. Well, I shouldn't say NBA. He's a professional basketball player who gets caught up in this crazy relationship with a woman, and this woman has a lot of dark secrets. And her goal is just to destroy him and take over his money, his finances, just take over his career, so she can be with the real man she really wants to be with. But the secret is this woman that he tends to have a relationship with is really the guy that he used to bully back in high school. And so, these things develop, and it's a whole twist and crazy twist on the story because again, this person takes it personally to get back revenge for what him and his friends done to him back in high school. So it's a totally mind twister. It's a very fast read. It's a thriller. People really like the book. I'm very happy about that. And they're very surprised how the book ends. And there's a lot of twists and turns within the dialogue of the book. So it's doing great right now. So I'm very happy about that.
Awesome.
Well, revenge is one of the most common plots or themes in books, especially in films. There's a lot of revenge movies.
Yeah, and those type of books make it interesting because I read a lot. Well, my wife reads more than I do, and actually she writes better than I do, but she reads more than I do, and she didn't want to actually coach me into writing a book because she says, "Hey, you're a good storyteller." And even my friends that I know, Eric, you're a good storyteller. You need to write. I was always hesitant, but my wife, she pushed me into writing, and then and I told her what I wanted to do. She said, "Go with that, go with that." And so again, I try to write different stuff about different topics. All four of my books, they're all different. They're not the same. They're all different. Maybe two are about revenge. But I like revenge because it's more thrilling. You know what I mean? It's more meticulous. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get out of revenge. Plus, you hear that in the news. Somebody done got revenge on somebody. You know what I mean? What they call it, street they call it street vengeance or whatever. So they take it into their own hands. And this book, this person takes into her own hands and gets revenge on this person. So and my second novel, To No Avail, is the sequel to that book. So
to no avail. I see some of the things behind you. When you talking about different ways of revenge, I recently was out driving and there was a car, and I guess they didn't have a chance to wash it off. Maybe it was scratched in,
Right.
and it was etched in the car. That's what you get for cheating.
Hey, listen, we live in a crazy world. We live in a crazy world. I'm telling you. And some of the stuff you see on the news, you be like, I wonder what prompted that person to bust this person's windows out. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know, and
it's easy to say the person was crazy, but they never look at the person who drove them crazy.
Exactly. Just don't
well, you can always walk away. This is the option that people don't take.
Ain't no walking away.
Road rage.
No, that's what I'm saying. Ain't no walk away. Yeah, you got to pay.
You don't walk away. You're already in it.
That's what my book Trust is all about. You told me to trust you. You told me you love me. Now you got to pay.
You got to pay. Ain't no walking away. I'm gonna walk away with these handcuffs. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, we have I don't know if it's common everywhere, but here we have in Houston, because you have to do so much driving. We have to drive everywhere. And these road rage situations where somebody cuts somebody off or something, and then they end up shooting the person. I'm like, okay, was it that serious for you to spend your rest of your life in jail, in prison?
To them, yeah. I live in Philly. I grew up in Philly. I love Philly.
Okay.
I've seen all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? Ain't that much change from when I was growing up. It's just more, it's more exposed. It's more exposure to the craziness. Because, everybody got phones, everybody will record everything.
Yes.
You knew somebody drowning, they want to record the guy drowning.
Yeah, instead of saving the person,
Right. Look, he's drowning. He's drowning. Look, I'll get him later, but I need to be famous on TikTok. Like, come on, you know what I mean? So it's the road rage thing is all over the country. It's not even just in Houston. Even though I've never been in Houston, I
Okay.
heard some good
It's
things
a
about
lot of it's a lot of we have to drive everywhere. It's a
Mm,
lot of people. It's a lot of new people. That's what
mm.
a lot of people have moved here in the last 5 years. Like
Oh,
1 million people have moved to Harris County, which is one of the biggest counties in the country.
oh.
It's just so many people. Think when COVID, they've come a lot from the West Coast, a lot from the Midwest, and a lot from the Northeast. And one of the reasons is not as much now because so many people have come, but real estate, housing was
Mm,
much more affordable here. A person could sell a house in California for $500,000 and they only had like 1,500 square feet anyway. They can come here,
mm,
spend 300, get,
mm,
4,000 square feet and bank the rest,
mhm,
you
mm.
know,
Yeah,
for the same amount that they had 1,500 square feet. And you have a yard and, you know,
yeah,
so many people have moved here. So now the cost of housing has gone up like dramatically, like
well,
about 30% over the last couple of years. So a house that used to be 250 is now 350.
oh my goodness. And that's rent too, right? Rent has gone up.
Yes, rents too, but I haven't rented. But there are people that rent that tell
Oh,
me
yeah.
that
Hey,
rent has gone up a lot. But
I
you have
have I have two daughters. They rent their
how
apartment.
old are they?
Uh, 27 and 33. Yeah,
Okay, so my daughter's 28.
yeah.
She
And
still lives at home. She pays, but she was gonna move out, but the
hey,
house thing went up so much. I said, well, just bank, stay here. You still have to contribute, but bank some money so when the market is more favorable, you have the money.
I
yeah,
said the same thing to my daughter. My daughter's only 24, but I said the same thing. She'll be 25 in November. I'm like, there's no need to rush out there. Go ahead and stay here,
Mhm.
get
yes,
yourself together, finish your degree and everything else
Right.
you want to do.
yeah,
Because because she's already working. About to start her
Mhm.
master's program. I'm like, there's no need to rush out there.
yeah,
Just go ahead and do what you're going to do. And then once you feel that you're ready, then
yeah,
go ahead and go out there. But there's no need in pushing these kids out at an early age just because we can say we can do it.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I wish I had that option because when we were growing up,
I,
18, you went somewhere. You
yeah,
either went to college or you started working and you moved out.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
was it. That
yeah.
was it.
Uh,
But now things cost so much more, and it's for young ladies. It's not. It's safe. I would be worried about my daughter every night if she didn't live at home.
hey, I worry about my daughters all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a granddaughter too, so I worry about them all the time. Make sure they're good. But they have to live their own lives. But again, if
They
they
do, but yeah, you
choose,
worry about them more when they're adults
you
because
do.
because they
Listen,
they
especially,
control their
especially
own
if you're a father, and I'm not saying mothers too, but I'm
life.
I'm a dad. I'm a girl dad, and
Okay.
listen. I always worry about them. I try not to treat them like they're my little babies all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they're adults, but still, I worry about you guys because I know how it is out there. And
Yes.
these guys are different these days. They're different.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I heard a lot of stories, and I just worry about them. So, and all I can do is just be there for them when they need me, and I pray for them a lot and make sure that they're good.
So what is do you have your book so we can see or like the cover? We can see Hidden Revenge. Is that the cover that exists now? Is it the
Yes,
same cover?
with the face, not behind it. The
Not
one,
behind you. Okay. So
no,
do you have a copy of your book? So you
I,
can tell
I
us?
can get you a copy.
Yeah, get a copy so people
Have that ready, Mr.
yeah.
EK.
I'm so sorry.
Use your powers.
I'm so sorry. Let me get you a book. I'm sorry.
Because that way we want people to know, it's helpful when you go to buy a book
Oh,
to,
Gwen, I
to
can
have
see
seen
you
the
on
cover.
his TV. Or now I see me.
Huh?
Look
What?
at the reflection on his TV.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, down at the bottom. Funny. So what is that other book?
I
I
don't
see
know.
you
It's a
know
very
a
interesting
veil.
cover though.
It starts with a P.
Yeah.
CK. What's the other part? I had so many comes
I don't
back.
know, plaque.
Oh, no, no, because plaque
He
is
coming back to
QC.
tell us.
This
Yeah.
is just embarrassing. I had to go all out here and oh.
No, you're not the first or second or third. So
All right, so
okay.
the
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's totally different from the one you see in
Okay.
the background. Again,
Okay.
I changed the book cover and everything, so I really didn't like that one. Again, that was made back in 2008, so I wanted to make it more, you know, more
Contemporary, more modern looking.
very more modern. Yeah,
Right.
get people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this one, this is to Nobel, totally different
Okay.
from
And you changed the cover for again.
change the cover again. I
Now
didn't
that's
want,
a snake.
huh?
It's a snake
Yeah, that's a snake. Yeah, because there's a lot of
wrapped
snakes.
around.
Yeah, wrapped around a finger of a woman. So that has a lot to do with the character in this book. Because
Okay.
there's a lot of snakes in this book. A lot of snakes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of snakes. They bite. They bite in this book.
Okay.
A lot of snakes. A lot of snakes. And so this is the newest, the latest one, the foliage. Uh,
Okay.
this,
So they
yeah,
in the woods. Is that one of the ones where people in the woods and stuff happen?
yes. So this one, I went totally to the left with this one. So this one is about, it's really like a historical fiction novel because I dip into indigenous people, how they had to leave their land because of the European settlers. But I kind of mixed it up a little bit. And this talks about that. It also talks about the this guy who is a Native American and he owns real estate. So, but what he does, he draws in people that want to buy land out in this woods, which is the Poconos. But he finds out there that they're ancestors of these European settlers. So this is kind of revenge book too, because he draws them in and he talks to his dead ancestors to get revenge on these people that want to buy his land. So this is kind of interesting. It's
Mm.
very it's been doing a lot. I heard good things about us, on Amazon and everything, but it's very I just wanted to throw a little twist in there because I knew about the history. I love history. I'm a history buff, and I wanted to mix it up a little bit with that. So that's what that's about. But yeah. So yeah,
Sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
it is. Once yeah,
Is it like a supernatural type
supernatural,
plot?
exact
Okay.
supernatural.
Okay.
He prays to his ancestors, and these ancestors they come alive for him to kill these ancestors of the European settlers. So he is very unique. This story I've done is very uh, um, it's very different from any other story I've done, anything I've written. So, but it's pretty good. I like it a lot of other people, so they love it. So we'll see how it goes in the long run.
Okay. Now, what's the one behind you? We were trying to figure out what the title was. It starts with a P and it ends with a CK.
Yes. So that's my short story, actually my short movie that I'm going to direct, hopefully next year, sometimes called Pluck.
Nice.
Oh, pluck. Okay, we couldn't
He
see
said
that.
plaque. We couldn't tell what that letter was.
We couldn't
Yeah.
tell. We could only see the P and the CK.
Oh,
And we were
yeah.
trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah, Pluck. I actually supposed to done that short film in 2020, but because of COVID, it just broke everything down. I had everything in place. I had my team in place, my actors and actresses in place. And when COVID hit, there was nothing I could do. So I had to cancel the whole entire thing.
Oh, okay.
I had,
Yeah.
it was
Even Hollywood had to cancel stuff
I'm
for a
just not
long time.
right. So it was set in the bookstore in Philly. Pluck is from a person, his name is Andrew Pluck. And he comes back and goes to this bookstore and he haunts this bookstore. because he was part of a mass murder inside this bookstore.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah,
I don't know. Have I ever heard of a murder taking place in a bookstore?
I-
Do they do that? Is that? I don't know if I have.
yeah, it's a type of
Oh, that's
bookstore.
different. So why
Yeah.
did you name his last name Pluck? Why did you select the last name Pluck?
Uh, you know what? I just wanted to come up with a name. I didn't. It wasn't strategic really at all. I
Okay.
just wanted to come up with an interesting name. So
It's memorable.
yeah,
Pluck. That's something that
yeah,
people will
but yeah,
remember.
you
Mm.
know, yeah, and he comes back and haunts his library, and his face. If you don't know if you can see his face,
A
but
little bit. It looks like a skeleton or something at the
right,
bottom.
he's kind of yeah. He has a white face with
Okay.
black eyes, got black makeup around his eyes, and he got this black stuff around his mouth. So he's very spooky, very scary looking. Uh,
Okay.
and yeah, I had my sister actually was going to be the makeup artist to do that for the actor that I had playing that part. Um, but again, yeah, it was like a short horror movie that I had planned to make in 2020. So hopefully, I'm hoping to try to do this next year sometime at the same bookstore and everything. So I'm hoping to do that. So, but that's what that is. That's Plug. Yeah. So I love creating these type of stories, especially I like I like horror stories. I like revenge stories.
Okay.
I like those type of genres, mysteries. I love those type of genres. Those type of genres keep me engaged. You know what I mean? And it inspires me to write those type of stories and put a little twist on it and make it mine. So I love those type of stories.
So you're indie published. You're independently published.
Yes, I
Correct.
am. Yes, I am.
And have you ever pitched your work to anybody, or you prefer to remain independent?
No, I've pitched my work to a lot of people, and they give you that story. Well, we're not into that right now, or we're into something else, or we're going to to another story
In
or
a
another.
different direction.
There you go, in a different
Always
direction.
something. It's us, not you, you know.
Oh,
Mhm.
say no more. I know it's
And
so
it's a common response because
yeah.
people talk about you have to have a thick skin and be prepared for rejection. But some people get lucky, but then some people are just really persistent. And I don't have that. I don't have that kind of persistence or thick skin.
I have that kind of
So
time. I'd
I
rather just
stay
publish my stuff
independent
when
because
I'm
I
ready
rather
for
just
it.
put my stuff
Yeah.
out because
Exactly.
I don't want to wait to hear from somebody.
I, I I know you have to wait, and sometimes they don't even respond back to you. They just
Right, right.
whatever, you know what I mean? They don't even respond back. So being an independent is cool. I mean, you pouring your own money into you betting on you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's
Mhm.
fine. You know what I mean? Of course, you're responsible for marketing and publishing and advertising. That's money. You know what I mean? And you have to just continue to do what you're doing. I'm persistent. I try my best to be who I am as an independent publisher. I even teach people how to do it. You know what I mean? Because people are like, how do you do that? Wow. So I, say I'll give them the information. You know what I mean? But it's being independent is hard. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep
There you
going.
go. Don't
I'm gonna,
give up.
no, I'm going to keep making these films and keep writing these books because this is what I love to do. I love to do this. You know what I mean? I
But
still
speaking of being an independent author, I noticed that you're going to be at the Independent Authors Festival in Philadelphia on August 10th.
Yes, yes, I can't wait for that. I'm very excited about that. It's going to be great, especially at the Philadelphia Convention Center, and with other authors as well. There's
Yeah,
going
I'll be there.
you're going to be there?
I'll be there.
Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry. I didn't. Good. Well, I'll see you there.
Is that the one that's in Philly that you were telling me about?
Yep.
Under. Okay. And
With
Mr. Ash,
Richard Ashby.
he's gonna be
Yes,
there.
yes, yes. Yeah, I can't wait. What do you publish? What genre do you write?
I
Do
write
you,
women's fiction. So
oh,
I'm going to have a couple of my books there. I'm going to be promoting my my catalog that I was telling the audience about a little earlier. And I'm also a book coach, so I'll be talking about some of my coaching services and promoting the podcasts and everything. It's going to be a lot going on in my table, so just swing through.
I'm gonna sing through it. I'm gonna sing through it. Trust me. I will sing through and check you out and check out the other people as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited for it. I really am. So yeah, I see.
And one
Yeah,
of our viewers asked, where can your books be published or purchased? I'm sorry. Where can your books be purchased?
yeah. You can go on my website. My website is the-author-ek-powers.com.
Yeah,
It'll
I put that I put your URL in the chat.
Oh,
So if anybody wants to get to know Mr. EK Powers, please click on that link and go to his website. His website is very interesting when you first go to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I,
So
I, I try to do things different. So
I like it. It's
thank
very
you.
captivating.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I try to do. You know what I mean? I want people to go and like, wow, look at his website. What? Thank you very much. But yeah, you can go there, pick up the book, and that's wonderful. I'm always appreciative if someone buys my book, or even if it's an ebook. Hey, I have that too. I'm working on my audio book as we speak. I have two producers and narrators working on it.
okay,
Hopefully,
so you have somebody else doing the voice work. Are
yeah.
you reading your own, or is somebody reading?
No.
You didn't want to try that.
No.
Okay.
I have somebody else do it. I'm not getting into all that.
I want to voice my own books. I really do, but I don't have that kind of time, and I don't have the right equipment here. And if I were to do it, I would do it, but it would sound like I did it myself. And it means a lot to me to make sure that everything that I do doesn't look like I did it myself. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to hire somebody for that one.
That's what I did, because I'm not doing it. I'm not stepping into that at all. They can do it. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I've held auditions, and hey, I've got the best two people that I think will sound great telling my story. So again, it'll turn out great, and hopefully by mid-August they should be completed, and I should be selling audiobooks. So it should be great.
Yeah, I
Look,
need to turn my two novels into, I need to do audiobooks because so many people ask me for audio for those.
What
And
novel do you write? What do
oh, I
you?
have 15 books. Me and
Oh,
Rhonda both have books.
why am I even here?
we're
15.
not new to this, baby. We're true to this.
15. I only got 3. Like,
Well, at once upon a time, I only had 3.
oh goodness.
The
Oh,
number keeps going up. But I have a 2-part mystery series. I
okay.
hope to do a 3rd part. I don't know when, but those two people keep asking me about the audio version. So I have to decide, am I gonna be like Rhonda and try to do it myself? I know you said you weren't, but
I'm not doing it
I'm
myself.
gonna hire somebody. So
Oh,
I don't know, but I feel like I
I
can
want to do it myself, Gwen. I said I want to, but want and will are two
and will
different
two different things.
right.
I feel like I can tell the story because the story like came from all of me. Those 2 books that took me 5 years a piece to write. Uh, it's all over. So I feel like I can do it, but I don't know because I've never done it. So I might test it out and then send it to Rhonda and then let her tell me how it sounds. Like for one, like the prologue or something, and then
Yeah. See, my book got too many. I had too many characters in my book. I got women, men, kids.
me too.
I don't have these high-pitched women voices. I'm not trying to. And I got men. No. I'm not. It's just too. No.
Well, most of my characters are male in both my books.
See, you got to go deep. If you
I
got to go deep with your voice.
have a high pitched voice, so that may not work.
You got to go deep. See?
If I'm doing like somebody thinking about something and then one of my male characters thinking, I can't And they're like, well, I can't even do it. I can't even pretend to do it. So, okay, you've kind of made my decision for me. I need to put it in the hands of professionals.
Put it in the play. Put it in somebody else. Let them do it. You ain't got to worry about it. So,
Professionals. Well, EK, thank you so much for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV, and congratulations on your books and continued success.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Continued success. And Rhonda, I will see you at the festival in August.
Yes, we got a good time.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Take care. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we're at the end of our time in terms of one more interview, not the end of the show. But I know Ron was like, what is she talking about? So the heat must have gotten to me. You know, not having a show for 2 weeks. I don't know if we've ever done that. I don't know if we've ever skipped 2 weeks. And the second week wasn't intentional. It was just, act of God. You can't do anything when it's an act of God. But our final guest for tonight, we have 2 authors. Both of them have been on the show. And the last time they were on the show, they were telling us, they were on as individuals, but they were telling us they were going to be doing a book together, a series together. And the first installment of it is out now. And so Pamela Samuel-Jean and Dwayne Alexander Smith, welcome back to Black Authors Matter TV. And both of you can unmute so we can hear.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now
Okay.
we can hear you.
All right. Hey.
So congratulations on declaring you were going to do something on the show. And I think it was 2 years ago when you said that, when you said you do it. And now the book is out.
How time flies.
It does. But congratulations on seeing it through. And it's called Sounds Like a Plan.
Sounds
But
like a
then
plan.
your next one Sounds Like Trouble. That's the
Yes.
next book. So show us a copy of the book. Sounds Like a Plan. I've ordered it, but my book shipment didn't come in. So I wanted to have it for the show, but it didn't come in time enough. So, but congratulations, because it just came out. What date did it come out?
Tuesday.
The 9th, last Tuesday.
Yes.
So yeah, it just came out. And so how are the early responses going for it?
We had a great book signing at Barnes and Noble and at the Grove, so got a good turnout. So we're in the hands of a publisher, so we don't know what the sales look like right now. You know how that is.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't, because I'm not with the publisher, but I know you've done a lot of indie work, so
yeah. So I could go in right now
and go look and see what your numbers are, but now with the publisher you can't. But there are other benefits. The distribution is the main benefit of being with the big publishers. So
how did you do this? I love co-authored books, but I always wondered, like, did you take the male role and then one took the female role, or did you write a chapter and then Dwayne, you came and write a chapter later? How did that work?
Well, we it's, as you said, I wrote the female version, he wrote the male version, and hi to you too. Hi. And Dwayne did the initial outline, then we talked about it, and then we started. So he would write a chapter, send it to me, and then I'd feed off of it and send it to him. And, based on the outline, and I would stray, and then he would get upset when I strayed from his outline, but I had to set him straight. So, and we went back and forth like that.
Okay. Now you normally write legal mysteries, thrillers, whatever.
Right.
And Dwayne, I'm not sure what genre. I read 40 Acres. But I don't know what genre you normally write under. Do you a mystery writer too?
Oh, well, all right. I mean, when it comes to books, I've only written thrillers. But when I write
know you do
screenplays,
screenwriting.
So screenwriting, I've written everything. I write horror movies and comedies, everything. Yeah. But books is thrillers.
Okay. So you all are kind of in in companion genre, sort of. So is
Yeah.
is a lawyer the character in this book?
Is there a lawyer in the book?
Well, is the main
No.
character?
No,
No,
there's a
there's
lawyer.
no lawyers in this book, and there's
That's
no.
not true. There is lawyers. Wait a minute, there is a
I get
lawyer in the
over it.
book.
Oh yeah, but not a, but the lawyer doesn't have a legal role. I mean, it's not like a legal thriller. It's not.
It's
Okay.
not a legal thriller. But
Okay.
the protagonist is not a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So tell us about now show us the cover again. I want to see what position they're in. So he has a gun, and what is she
He has a
doing?
gun.
She has a gun too?
It's a gun too. It's on her leg.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know what
That's
that was.
that's
Okay.
what all women carry their guns, right?
Okay.
And they're
That's why we're limping, because we shot ourselves in the foot.
got that right. They are both private detectives.
Okay. I was gonna ask him what they
And
detective.
she's from
Okay.
Inglewood, and he's from. Where is he from, Dwayne?
He lives in Venice.
He lives in Venice.
Yeah.
It's
Venice
ahead.
Beach. No, he lives in Venice Beach. And he has an office in Century City. So yeah, they're from. She has like a very kind of her clientele is very common men, and his clientele are like kind of higher end clientele. But she comes from a higher end background. He comes from a more underprivileged background, so it's kind of flipped.
Okay.
Yeah. And they
And how do they end up getting together? Is it romantic, or is it two detectives solving?
well, they get hired unknowingly. They get hired for the same case, and they keep bumping into each other.
Okay.
And it's like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? You know, and they kind of like each other, but don't like each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, as they begin to find out that they were hired for the same case, they decide to work together. But there's another detective that's also been hired for the same case. So it's like this, it almost becomes like a competition.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And are they the recurring characters in your series? Are they going to be reappearing in all of the books?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, the two main characters, of course, and then there's a what's her name? The Czechoslovakian Roxana. There's like she's like a techie, a computer expert that they go to once in a while. That's a recurring character. And there's some family members that are recurring characters. Yeah, definitely.
And the book has been optioned by Paramount BET for a TV series, but you know, options are one thing, actually make it to the screen or something else. So our fingers are crossed.
Yeah, I saw that, and the congratulations on that, because the option, they do pay for options.
Yes,
So
they do. We got a lot of money.
Even if you don't get at least you got a check. So
Okay.
because didn't something that you wrote get optioned?
Yeah.
And Dwayne, didn't 40 Acres get optioned? Okay.
Yep. 40 Acres got optioned by Netflix, and they paid for that option. They paid a lot of money for the screenplay. And you know, they're still in development. They're still spending money. So
yeah, they buy stuff and then they sit on it, you know. But at least
and Netflix optioned my first one, everybody's booked out, and then the option expired. So still trying to shop it again, trying to shop something else. So you know, that first time you get really excited. Oh my God, it's gonna be a TV. And then
you think it's gonna go all the way.
I just saw that they're just now doing
option just means they have the option to do something with it.
So I don't get excited anymore. Unless they tell me that it's in production, then I'll get excited. But I just noticed that The Emperor of Ocean Park, a book that I love, is now coming out. What's 20 years later?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I tell you, when I first came to town, I wrote a script that brought me here, and I was living off that script. I was living off the options of that screenplay for like 15 years. I literally would get optioned like every year from a different place.
So they would re-option it?
They re-option. And finally it sold. It sold, and I was sad it sold, because I'm like, I could keep living off the script forever. So now I don't get any more option money anymore. Now it's just sold. So
okay, I didn't know they re-option stuff. I thought it was a one
if one place doesn't do anything with it, then it comes up for grabs.
Somebody else. Okay,
so that particular script, everybody wanted it. It's like it was all over town, and it's been over 20 years now.
Did they make
They're
it?
still trying to make it. No, they're still trying to make it.
Oh wow,
Yeah. So
it's a crazy business.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the
So they
Emperor.
give a certain amount of time though. So like they may
Yeah.
option for a year or
18 year to 18 months, and then when it expires,
Okay.
they
And
can
if
pick it
they
up
don't do
again, or they
anything
can
by
let somebody
then,
else.
the
Yeah.
option expires, and then you
option
can.
expires. But sometimes when they option it, they will hire me to rewrite it, so that I'll make money on the rewrite too, and things like
Okay.
that. So it
Okay.
was really lucrative.
I might have to look into that. I like that.
Yeah, I had asked Dwayne one time about doing a treatment for the Genesis files, but I did. I tried to. I got the. You know how you try to do things yourself. The Script Writer's Bible, I think that was called, and so I did a treatment myself for it, and then I sent it in, and then they said no.
Where'd you send it?
I sent it to BET, and I had a person that was high up that I
Mhm.
sent it to, but it's really not the kind of stuff that BET does.
No.
It really wouldn't work on that network because it's not. It's more commercial in terms of. I mean, I think it could work on a big screen. Of course, a lot of people say that, but a lot of people have told me that too.
Well,
That
I could tell you that if you're trying to sell something to like BET or whoever, they're going to be a lot less interested in something that's not written. Like they're not really that interested in like a treatment or a pitch. It's almost impossible to sell a pitch or a treatment. But if you have something that's finished, like you have a script,
I have a
or
script, so I need to know what to do.
oh, okay, because it's
yeah,
based, you
you
know,
have
it's based on my book, but the treatment was based on the book.
Oh, babe,
But
treatment based on the book. I get you.
yes,
Okay.
so I had the book,
Oh,
but
okay.
you're
All right.
saying the whole script. They told me they only wanted to see the treatment.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
What if
from
they
my
had come back and
experience,
said they wanted to see the script?
huh?
I'm just saying, what if she had sent the treatment in and they wrote back and said, okay, we want to see the script now?
Then you have to hire a script writer, I guess.
Well, if you already have the book, it's kind of a different situation. You don't even have to do a treatment if you have the book. If you have the book, you could just shop the book. You know, like it's not your job as the author to create a treatment for the show. If you're just shopping the book to the studio.
Oh, okay.
Because our agent shopped our book.
Okay.
Before it
Well,
was out.
that was a few years back when I contacted you about that.
Let's
It was
see,
before
we need to
COVID.
go,
I know
we need
that.
to go ahead and get busy again. We have books
Yeah. Yes.
to be pitching.
Yeah, especially since I have the sequel now. So it
Yeah.
could be a series, you know, it would really be a great one. So anyway, what led you all to decide to co-author a series? Because you all were both writing individually. And did you feel like you would get more synergy, or it would be easier to shop to a
I think we
publisher?
thought it would be fun. I don't know why we wanted to do it. I don't. Why do we want to do it? I know we talked about doing it, but why do we want to do it? We thought it would be fun or something, or
I know you called me with the idea, and I said, "Oh, sounds like a great idea." And then we went from there. He says that I said, "No, we should write together." I have no recollection of that.
You two are hilarious.
But when I heard the idea, I was like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea!" So, and he needed me though. He needed me to write the female character, so because he would have messed her up, you know, and I wouldn't have done the male character as well as he did. So it worked out.
Okay, because yeah, your all your books have a female protagonist.
That's why I started writing. Nobody.
I think I read. I don't know if I read all of your books, but how many do you have?
15.
Okay, so I probably have read 10.
Well, you got to get to
I
work.
read most of them. I know because I don't read novellas generally, and I know you have some novellas.
Why not? Why you don't read?
I don't like a short story. I like a full
until you
story.
read it. Okay.
Well, I know. I don't mind a short story as long as it's a full story. In other words, I want to feel like I've read a full story after I've read the short story, because I've written a novella. My book Trust is a novella, but most people who read the story say that they feel like they read a full story. It didn't feel like it just stopped at the end.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to send you my novellas to read. Okay.
Well,
can
I
send
don't know.
Nikki
You know,
Gwen
I
and
tried to
it.
read and I tried to read anthologies that have a combination of short stories. Okay, and I don't like those. So that's what led me to believe that I wouldn't like a novella.
No,
I
Oh,
well,
like
okay.
a full
anthology
story.
stories are a lot shorter than novellas. Novellas are at least 20 to 25,000 words. An
Okay.
anthology is usually maybe 5 to 10,000.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
you know,
I forgive
I
you.
have my particular things that I like, and I do occasionally expand out and venture out. And I'm reading some more women's fiction now, uh, that than I used to, because there's so many people writing it, you know. And of course, but with the show, I'm exposed to so many books that
You
my
don't have the
my
time.
my to be read shelf is not a shelf. It's my house. My whole house has books everywhere.
You
So
do Audible?
no, I tried one Audible. I hated it.
Oh my
I
God.
hated it. It just I couldn't. I read faster than I could listen. That's one thing. It would put me to sleep.
You can speed
I
it
Every
up.
time I would listen to it, I would fall asleep.
You can speed it
go to
up though.
bed every night to
I
about
tried the speed up thing. It still put me to sleep.
Well, maybe,
Yes.
maybe you shouldn't listen to audiobooks when you're sleepy. I listen to audiobooks while I'm exercising. I listen to them while I'm working sometimes,
Driving.
unless
Thank
you
you.
know, unless I have something I got to really concentrate on. And I listen to them while I'm driving. I live in the DC area. Everywhere I go is going to be at least an hour away. So listening to an audiobook is great for me. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why I do audiobooks. And because I'm so busy, I don't always have time to sit down and just read a physical book, but I still love reading. So I decided to do more audiobooks so I can do that on the go. But
Right.
Gwen, has her preference for reading physical books because she likes to sit down, she likes
I
to
do.
hold the book,
I
and
do.
that's a way of relaxation. Totally understandable. Just people read in different ways.
I have a Kindle, but I started buying books because on the show, so many people would be on the show. I know a physical book, they make more money as far as royalties. But also, because I can buy as a bookstore, my cost is the same as the Kindle for a paperback. So I would rather, if I have the option, I'd rather have the paperback. So, but anyway, you all have the second book sounds like trouble, and then like how many books are in the series, or how many did you get in the first contract?
We got a 2-book option. We
Two books,
turned
okay.
in the Sounds Like Trouble, I think a month ago. So hopefully they'll love that and want to go more. I think it'll probably depend on how well the sales go for Sounds Like a Plan. But I think even if they don't option it, I think we'll continue and do the others on our own if we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you come up with Sounds Like a Plan as a title? Because you told us that was the title 2 years ago when you told us you were going to write the book when you were just getting started.
I think Dwayne came up with the title, didn't you?
I think I did, but I don't know why. I just thought it sounded catchy.
It does. It's memorable. It's important to have a
You can
title.
come up with other titles, similar titles. You can come up like in a series. You come up with similar.
Because we have
titles.
like a ton of titles. Sounds Like Trouble, Sounds Like Murder, Sounds Like Danger, sounds like we just wrote like 20 titles. So
Okay, what sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for the second book, I just went through a list of all the things we had, and I said, which one sounds like it'll work with this story? And it was Sounds Like Trouble.
But as I think about it, we should have put Sounds Like Danger.
Sounds like danger?
We have to have time to change it.
That could be another book.
But,
Yeah, Sounds Like Trouble is more natural sounding to me.
Okay.
Sounds
I
like
don't
trouble?
really hear people say sounds like danger, but people do say sounds like trouble.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Hey, you got a focus group, a 2-person focus group you have to pay for. So you had your book signing in Los Angeles. Do you have any other book events coming up?
Yeah, we have a book club that's doing like a fundraiser, like a scholarship fundraiser at a restaurant, and people are paying for the dinner and also donating to the scholarship fund. I think that's in a couple of weeks. I still do a lot of book clubs things. We did the independent booksellers spring thing in Long Beach. We have other stuff that coming up. I can't think of anything, but just trying to do stuff online and get our social media up and all the things that weren't there or required when I first started. I feel like you and I, Dwayne, grew up in this business together.
Yeah.
So,
Because I remember your first book, and I remember you coming to our store and doing a workshop for writers. And so that was maybe 2005 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
like, oh my
But
God.
that's 20 years.
Yeah.
Golly.
I know. Who knew? I was supposed to be sitting in my beach house in Malibu by now. Who knew it would be this hard?
And I hadn't written any books yet. So,
So
now I got
congratulations to
15.
you. And your daughter's writing too, right?
My who?
Your daughter? Don't you have a daughter?
Oh, yeah, I do. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh,
but
okay.
she and I wrote a book together
Okay.
for teen girls. And we just the reason we did it together was for her to get scholarship money. That was why we intend, because we did it over the summer. It came out. It's for like a guidebook for teen girls, and she was a sophomore in college at the time. And then I said, well, because the year before I had gotten a nomination for an Image Award for my book on debt-free college. That she was in college debt-free. So I said, well, let's send it in and see, maybe it'll get nominated. The book she and I wrote together, and it got nominated.
Wow.
So she has a nomination. She went to the Image Awards and did the red carpet and all of that. And the one that she went to, she got a selfie with Chadwick Boseman.
Wow.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Cool.
who knew he would be gone too soon? But that was great for her. And then because she got the nomination, I contacted her college and I said, look, do you have any money for people who bring prestige to the school? Because I did a press release that said, NCCU sophomore gets nominated for Image Award. And I faxed it to every fax number on the campus that I could find on their website. The maintenance department, the chancellor's office, and they gave her $7,500 for 3 years.
Wow.
So her sophomore, junior, and senior year, she got $7,500 each of those years because of that.
That's awesome.
Cool. I gotta recommend your book to some people.
Yeah, I tell people you have to think outside the box. You can't be bashful or ashamed. You have to really be shameless. You have to just ask for money. They have money. There's money for the scholarships. There's tons of those, and I normally have at least 300 in the book. But the schools have money. But unless you ask them or give them some reason to give it to you, you have to present a case for why you should get the money. Otherwise, she would have never got this $7,500. Well, times 3 if I hadn't told the school and asked them for money.
That's right. Wow. Cool.
Yeah, you have to do that. So now, do you write full time? Did both of you write full time?
Yes.
You
I quit practicing law in 2016.
Oh, okay, all right, because you were a lawyer, a corporate lawyer for Toyota, as I remember. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I write full time.
Okay.
Scripts and books, and occasionally other things. Like I don't know. But also make movies. Also produce movies. So yeah, like small little movies. But yeah. So
will we be able to
on Tubi right now, right?
Okay, I look at Tubi because Tubi has some great content of old movies.
My movie is kind of a throwback to like a blaxploitation type of movie. The one that's now is called Pay the Lady.
What is it called?
Called Pay the Lady. Pay the
the
Lady.
lady. Okay,
Hey, the lady. I'm gonna look for that.
me
I just
too.
made one. I just finished shooting one 2 weeks ago called You Picked the Wrong One. And that'll be on Tubi probably in a couple of months.
Okay, yeah, Tubi is a great source. I know Entice. Are you familiar with Entice? She's a publisher now, but she's also an author. And Kensington gave her own imprint, Black Odyssey, so she's publishing authors. But she also does films,
Mhm.
and she's been on the show a couple times. And she does a book to film seminar at the festival every year.
Mhm.
So, but she was telling us about how Tubi, you don't pay Tubi, Tubi pays you based on based on the advertising.
Right.
And so she talks about that. So I'm gonna look that up because I go to Tubi regularly, and they have news. I was in the middle of watching Roots on Tubi, and the original one. And then by the time I got back to it, because I got busy and I got like halfway through, and it was gone. I was sad. So maybe it'll
Oh,
come
it's
back.
gone?
It was gone. Yeah. So things do come and go, and they tell you newly added or stuff, the new stuff but they have all kinds of content. I really like seeing some of the classic stuff on there.
They got a lot of stuff.
They
Yeah.
do have
I mean,
they have a lot
they're
of stuff.
good. They're good for Black independent filmmakers too.
Yes, they're really,
They're
really
very
good.
supportive.
And it's important because you need a place to distribute your work so people can have access to it.
And they
And
pay
it's,
good
it's
money.
a great way to
They pay
prove
well.
yourself.
They pay very well. I mean, you'd be
Okay.
surprised. Yeah, if your movie does well,
Right, if people watch
yeah.
it. And that probably do you have to do some marketing, or do you do marketing, or do you just kind of depend on Tubi, how they have the movies, you just scroll over and decide what you want to watch?
I mean, you do marketing. There's like some very basic marketing that you do when you put a movie out for Tubi. But honestly, it's kind of like the self-publishing thing. It's like word of mouth. Like if you
Okay.
put a movie out that people love and people start talking about it, you're gonna get a lot of views.
Okay.
I mean, like the amount of views you have to get to make money on Tubi. Like I just got a report for my movie, and we had 374,000 imprints or clicks, whatever,
Download.
watching it, whatever.
Uh-huh.
We made money. We didn't make that much. I mean, to really make a lot of money, you got to have millions and millions of impressions
Mm-hmm.
and reach that many. It's almost impossible to reach that many people with a small ad campaign. So it's really about word of mouth, like making something people are going to talk about and tell their friends, hey, you got to watch this, But if you get viral like that, you can make a lot of money for sure.
Yeah, because people are looking for things to watch.
Well, my question is, for people who put their movies on Tubi, are you still able to submit them to film festivals?
Yeah, you can do. It's not exclusive to Tubi unless Tubi picks it up as a Tubi original.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's exclusive. They pay you to be exclusive. But other than that, you can do anything you want with your movie. You can put it anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's like indie publishing, book publishing.
Yeah, you're free to do whatever you want with your movie. In fact, you can't go to Tubi directly, by the way. You got to go through a distributor.
Okay.
Like Tubi don't deal with individual filmmakers. So you got to have a distributor, but that distributor will put it on a lot of different platforms. But you still could do anything you want with your movie, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're coming to the end of the show. But I do, in these last couple of minutes, want to remind people, I know we got into a great conversation about movies, but we also want to remind our audience about your book. If you can show us the cover one more time.
And it has been optioned for a TV show.
I also checked your Amazon page, and you have a pretty good amount of reviews to say that this book was just released. So that's great. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope you check it out. It's a fun read. It really is a fun read. There's a good interaction between the two main characters, and I think you're gonna love them. So we hope you do.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for coming back on the show, and continued success with your series. And when you get the release date for the next one, we'll work on scheduling your interview for the
I
next
will
book.
remind you, and congratulations to you on your success. So, and what you're doing for Black authors. We need you. Thank you both.
Hey, you know what? I want to say that shirt you gave me, Black Authors Matter.
Uh-huh.
I love that shirt. And when I wear that shirt, I always get people like saying, "Hey, yeah, I love that shirt." And I saw you holding a coffee mug. Does that say Black Authors Matter on the coffee mug?
Yes, yes. We have a whole line of merch. We have all kinds of stuff.
I have to
It's on
get
your
one.
Tote
website?
bags,
It's on your
caps.
website?
Yes,
It's,
yes,
it's on the
Okay,
website? Okay.
it is.
Okay.
It
I
is.
do love that t-shirt. I wear that t-shirt all the time. Pamela tell you, she's seen me many times.
Okay, well, we have a matching cap. If you in
Oh,
case you-
really? Okay.
Mhm, we have a matching cap. Okay, well, we're at 9 o'clock, so it's time for the show to end. But thank you so much for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Check
Bye.
out Sounds Like a Plan.
Thank you. Have a
Okay.
great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Well, everybody, that's it for this week. We'll see you next Tuesday on another wonderful episode of Black Authors Matter TV. I'm Gwen Richardson signing off.
And I'm Dr. Rhonda Lawson. Have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Thank you for tuning in and join us next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another edition of Black Authors Matter TV.